We are on episode 22. We had the Heroes of Raina had joined forces with Varpu's Wordbreakers and are setting off for the mountain village of Ladevisi in hopes of rescuing two imprisoned rebels who were under the command of Aseri, kind of leader of bandits who had helped Ladevisi resist the Korkin when they first came. And I think at the close of the last episode, you all had bade farewell to Pius, sending him back to his home village with his arm in a sling, with a story of a disaster, that you were gone and he didn't know where you were, right? No, he's not. He's not saying that you're dead, right?
No, he is.
He is saying that okay, you're dead. You're deceased. Okay,
Died.
Got it. And it was sort of just the sun was just kind of breaking. You guys had gotten up before dawn and set off on this journey. And by the time you reached the edge of the Motherwood, let me just grab the map here. Yeah, so you have been camped by the Cave of the Beast, and you said goodbye to Pius around the edge of the Motherwood, and he went off towards the village. And we are picking up as you guys enter the forest. So we've got the three of you and a crew of 6 bandits plus their leader Varpu, and then Aseri also. So there's essentially kind of 2 leader figures in charge of the bandit gang, and then the 3 of you plus Annika. Everybody's already made notes about the gear they have with them. Mm-hmm. And I think it makes most sense for Weirin and let's see here. Here's our gang. So it makes the most sense, I think, for Weirin and Minea, the kind of smallest and quietest of the bandits, to be the people scouting ahead, unless you guys had a different suggestion. Oh yeah, this is Taimi's turf, I should say. Like, we're in Taimi's hunting ground, actually. So maybe Taimi wants to be in that role or taking up some other position.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Does that make sense for Taimi to be kind of point?
Are we going to be doing multiple checks? I think that she's just distracted. No, but at the same time, I think that she wants to do this as fast as possible. So she would help out at the front.
Yeah, you're just gonna. This is just to get through the Motherwood. You guys are kind of at a forced march because you're hoping to get to Ladevisi as quickly as possible.
Yes.
Best case scenario, I mean, you set out at 5 in the morning. Best case, you'll get there after dark if you really book it. So without any delays, you'll get there, before midnight of this day. If there are delays, then. So just so you know, I have a little timeline here of the progress of the hand of Ani mm-hmm. as he leaves the capital and makes his way toward Rayuna. So if delays occur, it'll tick down regardless, but if delays occur, it may tick down faster. So,
of course,
something to keep in mind. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to need one set out roll to get you through the Motherwood in one piece. Let me grab the move list.
No, it is Taimi's turf, but what's the stat associated with it?
It's wisdom.
All right. Let's do it. -1.
Oh, sorry. But set out is actually just a neutral roll. You don't. It's a plus nothing. It's a plus safety roll. Safety of the region. Wisdom comes in when if you're trying to if you are actually scouting a thing or whatnot. So this is just to see if anything happens along the way. The safety of the motherwood is dangerous, so that is a +1. 2d6 +1.
How do you determine the safety of a region?
There's 4. There's safe, unsafe, dangerous, and perilous.
Yeah. But like how, I guess like you as the judge kind of understand like what is going on in there.
Yeah, there are tables. You can roll it if you don't have an idea.
I'm just curious about the rule, and I'm sorry if I'm being distracting or
No, not at all. Anytime.
I'm just curious. Like, I think because there's so many people, this wouldn't apply. But I would be interested to know whether, like, if Taimi was by herself, whether that role would be different. Like,
role would be the same. But well, so for instance, when you go hunting in the Motherwood, there's the edge of the Motherwood near the village.
Yeah.
And there's deeper. And like on a regular hunting trip, you may not go particularly deep, so it wouldn't be really dangerous necessarily. To make the kind of shortcut that you're making right now, you're having to go a little bit into the deeper part of the forest. But the advantage to being alone doing it would be that it'd be much easier for you on your own to like hide and whatnot.
I'm just curious whether there's ever like an in-fiction reason why someone might have like a different safety rating, like based on their knowledge or experience in the region. Not in this case. I don't think it applies, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, there totally could be for sure, right? Because there's the spectrum of the creatures that live there all the way to the people that live in the village, and a hunter is certainly somewhere in between. So you could totally make the call that the danger, the actual safety rating would be different for somebody that was used to being there. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
What did you say it was plus?
It's +1.
That's a 9.
Okay. There's an incident along the way, unless you want to spend a point of luck to bump that.
I have a ton of luck, and we're trying to get there fast, so I will.
Okay.
Woohoo! Grease those wheels. It seems like another way you could play it, John, would be you roll the same roll, but if you say, well, you're a hunter, then the judge would take that into account and you're by yourself, how that thing that you meet manifests, or like what you, whether it notices you or not, or if that danger is as dangerous for one person as it is for a crowd of people bumbling through the woods.
Sure.
All right. So you, what is Taimi feeling returning to the old hunting ground after so long away?
It's mixed feelings. I think it's mixed feelings. I think it's good to be back. I think that one of the charms of the Motherwood is that it itself is like, it feels to her at least alive. Paths account for such a small percentage of the forest that is always changing and dynamic in its biodiversity, and it looks different every day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that those feelings of familiarity and comfort that might have slowed her step and made her like smell the proverbial roses, I think that quickly passes, and she's very like tunnel visioned, like we got to get there so that we can get back. But there is a brief moment of recognition that this is comforting to some degree.
Right. How does your kind of deep knowledge of this area, like with you as the kind of leader, can you give us like an example of one or two things that show how you guide the group through the forest? Like how your sort of expertise is brought to the fore.
Yeah. Well, and I'm happy to establish this, whatever I say, but like there's like a certain, there's various large mammals and predators that leave certain signs that people unfamiliar with the Motherwood might not notice. Bark ripped off the east side of a tree, in large scratches, or patches of clover that have been eaten.
Yeah.
or certain excrement that I can tell from the vegetation in there is of some sort of large creature. I steer us appropriately away from those things.
Excellent. I think there's a moment where you pass like an old growth tree that has some of these scratches on the east side, and which, by the way, were left by a bramble cat, also known as a piscakisa. And Vuito, the shunned, the guy with all the scars all over him.
Yeah.
Do you remember that guy?
Yeah.
He kind of sort of freezes up when he sees that tree. And you guys remember the stories about how Vuito was lost in the woods a few years back and ran into a bramble cat one-on-one and barely lived. So he's in a little bit of a he gets really quiet and super focused on you and following you, like basically like literally Muirin notices as you kind of like step amongst some stones, he's stepping exactly where you're stepping. Like this guy is sort of intent on sort of mimicking your every move to stay safe.
Jason, I remembered last time when you mentioned that he was shunned because people who survive the attacks by this creature are supposed to be bad luck.
Yeah. And
then I remember that basically in the beginning of the funnel, I established that Paiviki had been attacked. That's why she has scars across her face by some animal in the motherwood. So that makes me wonder, in relation to that story, if she was attacked by something that was not unlucky, or if she also was attacked by a bramble cat, but then by force of will convinced people that she overcame the unluckiness. I don't know.
So yeah, your call on that one. I'll tell you that a couple of options that I know of would be a bramble cat, a wild boar, or a giant hawk.
Oh yeah,
those are things that all could have potentially scarred her.
But the bramble cat is unlucky.
The bramble cat is the one where it's considered like a well, maybe Time you could tell us more about it, but I was thinking that it's considered the motherwood is like a holy place for you guys.
Yeah.
And the bramble cat is like one of the great kind of guardians, and it has little humans are just prey like any other creature to it, but to be attacked by the guardian and killed and eaten would be considered sort of a sacrifice to the motherwood, even if it's an unwilling sacrifice. So to survive that is almost denying the motherwood its some of its due.
I see.
And not everyone necessarily believes that or puts stock in it, right? Like, but generally, people think that if you come out of the motherwood after encountering a bramble cat, then you've either been rejected by the motherwood or you've denied the motherwood some.
Yeah, I think that maybe Paiviki had something like that happen when she was like a teenager and got shunned and made fun of by her peers and ended up getting into a lot of fights. Like that's how she got good at fighting, and somehow did something to convince everybody that she was okay. Like I think she connected with Teeny and went through some sort of rite of passage or something to prove that she was not on the bad side of the motherwood or something like that.
Great. Yeah, no, that's all. I love it.
Kind of ritual where she had to go like spend a few days in the woods or something.
And come out in one piece still.
Yeah.
That's great. And maybe that same thing, maybe Vuito had that same opportunity, but he was too terrified to do it.
Okay.
One of the reasons that he was shunned, but apparently in the company of the bandits, he's found a home. Great. So Taimi leads expertly through the woods, just as John has described. And you come out the other side. At the far side of the woods, the ground sort of slopes up towards this trail that heads away from Rayuna up into the mountains. So by about midday, you've climbed up onto that trail and are now making your way higher. And from up here, actually, you can look back downhill with the forest on your right, and you can see Rayuna in the distance, in the far distance. Just you sort of make out that the hill with the buildings on it. Yeah, coming close to home, but not able to actually
Yeah.
go see everybody.
Oh, I think we were talking about sneaking back to Mirren's house and grabbing those books out of the ground.
Oh yeah, sending somebody over there to grab them on the way.
Is that right, Donna? Do you remember that?
I thought that we had go ahead, Donna.
Oh, I thought we were going to skip it.
Okay.
I can't remember, though.
Yeah, I think we flipped back and forth a couple times. The last thing I think I remembered saying was we grab them and then, but we don't need to. We can always grab them on the way back, too, because we're not going to have time right now.
Oh,
No time for reading.
We were going to split up, and then...
I mean, I was thinking somebody would swing by your house and like grab them on our way through the woods, since you're living on the outskirts, but we don't need to. It's more stuff to carry.
Right.
Yeah. We'll figure it out later.
Okay, so by midday you've reached the mountain path, and now the journey is uphill. And everybody sort of climbs up. People are sweating when they climb up there. Everybody kind of readjusts their pack. There's a moment to drink some water, maybe have a little bite to eat, and then you have to head off again. So there's going to be one more set out move before you reach the village. And for this stretch, everybody's going to have to make a saving throw with Constitution, because this is the point where it starts to get very physically tiring. And if you, so doing poorly on this roll, you'll suffer some damage to Strength, Constitution, or Dexterity, and you'll be able to spread it out how you want.
I failed.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 5.
And your con modifier is 0?
It's a big goose egg.
Okay, so you roll a d6 and take that much ability point damage.
5.
Ooh, so you spread that between Strength, Constitution, and Dexterity.
Yeah.
Oh, so that affects the modifier?
If it drops too low, yeah.
Okay.
So 2d6 plus your con modifier.
Jason, what happens if you roll a 7?
It'll be a d4 damage.
Okay. I think I got a 6 and I have no modifier, so I think I'm going to take a d6 too.
Okay.
Is that true? Yeah.
Unless you want to spend luck. That would be the other option.
Right. I hate spending luck.
You just leveled up, right? So it's a long way to go before you
got my momentary +1 modifier back.
Would we have been able to take +1 forward to this roll because of last time?
Yeah, it's the day.
I'm taking it.
Because everybody had a good night's sleep, right? Yeah. Sorry, yeah. If this is your first roll of the day, for sure.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
So that's a d4 damage.
Okay. Oh, damn it. I rolled a 4. So I have to drop my ability scores.
You're in the
Across
current
strength.
column there. You decide how to distribute those 4 points amongst strength, dexterity, and constitution. So, you know.
Rough.
I rolled a 4 too, Donna.
That's stupid. We're going too fast, everybody.
Yeah,
It's exhausting. Everybody's tired except Varpo.
we're just lightweights over here. Oh, does that mean that I get to? Since I had a partial success.
Oh yeah, it's a failed roll.
Whoever rolled a 6 or less gets to mark that ability. Gets to mark constitution.
Donna, we got the worst of the deal. We did a partial success with a 4.
Yep. Bummer.
All right.
So everybody's adjusted those? Okay. Donna, will you roll to set out for this last leg? This is to get to the village after nightfall. This is a long, think about it. This is like a 7-hour stretch of you guys just hiking.
Oh, Jason, rules question.
Yeah.
So if we take damage to our constitution, that brings our hit points down?
Mm-hmm. If your modifier drops, your hit points drop.
I thought it was just if our stat went down, our hit points dropped.
No. If your stat drops, what's your current constitution modifier?
0.
So if it drops to -1, your hit points drop by 1 point.
Oh, so it's only the modifier.
Yeah.
Oh, I was playing it the other way before.
Yikes.
Yeah. I was like, I'm just going to die by losing constitution. Okay, cool.
The good thing we got that straightened out and you didn't die last time.
Well, that's how I played it in my funnel game with my friends.
Oh. I mean, I have thought about at times of just making constitution hit points, right? Like that would be a pretty straightforward solution. I kind of have mixed feelings about that, but
Yep.
Okay, so Donna, roll to set out. This road is safe. So you're going to add +3 to this roll.
Okay. I got a 6 plus 3.
Is 9. So that means there will be an incident unless you spend a point of luck.
I'll spend it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm at 11 now.
All right, so you're heading up into mountains that look like this. It gets colder. The sky is just like a almost blinding blue. Most of your focus is on the path in front of you, it's a pretty well beaten trail. Have any of you ever been to Lattice before?
How long? It's like a day.
It's a day.
And a half.
Yep, a day up into the mountains.
I would think so, but I don't know.
Taimi and Weirin have not. You can totally decide if Paiviki's would have had reason to go before.
It seems strange that you would not go if you if it's that close. But I guess people are kind of set in their ways. I'm going to roll for it.
Okay, cool.
She has been there.
Okay. The main reason interchange happens between, there's trade and stuff, but there's a copper and zinc kind of quarry / mine there. So it's a source of that material, which is one reason why goods would have been brought from La Devisi to the market at Rayuna. So maybe that had something to do with Paiviki's trip. Who knows? But Paiviki's been there before. Okay, so 7 hours of hiking. John Mary, the layabout, who Taimi sort of made pals with, is like complaining the whole way. He's just like, my feet are sore. I can't believe we're doing this. When's this going to be over? Give me some of your water. It's just like an endless stream. Varpu sort of stalks off ahead so she doesn't have to listen to him. So for this stretch, Varpu's at the head of the pack, just kind of like striding with great focus.
So we're on the main trail.
Yeah.
I wonder, does it make any sense for us to have people scouting ahead so that if anybody sees us, that they don't see all of us?
Yeah, you can totally have a. At this point, it could be. It makes sense for it to be Taimi, Muirin, or what's her name, Minea, or some combination of those. I don't know how Taimi feels after going up into the mountains. I don't know. Does that feel strange and different?
Yeah, it does feel strange and different. Yeah. I think, I don't know how Minea fared through that, but I think that I'm also just, that took a lot of me. I rolled a 5, so that took a lot out of me. So I might not have like my keen senses.
Yeah, Manea's actually no, Manea like is not letting on. She's like the opposite of John Mary in terms of like squeaky wheels, but you can tell that she's like her hair is matted with sweat, and she's just kind of doesn't have the spring in her step that she did when you guys entered the woods. So yeah, she's pretty wiped out. I mean, I think
Okay.
Muirin, how are you feeling?
She's worn out, but not totally. She did lose significant constitution, so but I think she's like still got like her typical scouting perceptions and fitness around her.
So she'd be prepared to take the lead on that. Look
Yeah.
ahead for trouble. Okay, so then Muirin's far ahead of the pack. Varpu is kind of some distance back and some distance ahead from the main body of the pack, and then the rest of you guys are trudging up after that. Over the course of that time, Muirin does not encounter or see anything unusual, except there's like some mountain goats that you see running up a mountainside. There's various signs of wildlife and birds, and the sky gradually shifts into evening, and then it gets dark, and everybody's just focused on the next stretch of road in front of them. And when the stars come out, the starlight is bright enough for you to and the lights like reflect this high up. There's now snow on the mountains, so the starlight's reflecting off the snow, and everything has kind of a bluish cast to it, so you can actually see pretty well where you're traveling. And then you round the trail at this point is up. There's like a precipice off to the left side, and you top a ridge, and you're looking up this next kind of stretch of this mountain that you've been ascending for a while, and you see the little pinprick lights, the warm lights of what must be lights in huts in the village. And you continue climbing up the path, and you get to this is like a couple hours after nightfall, and you finally Muirin finally reaches a point where you can the path actually goes up above the village and then comes down into it.
Whoa.
So you're seeing this at night. And you basically stop right here at this turn in the trail. And if you just picture looking down, you can kind of make out all of these shapes. Mainly it's, the lights reflecting off rooftops and whatnot, but you see the kind of candlelight or firelight glowing from different windows of the village from this vantage point.
I wonder if somebody from La Devesi can give us just a lay of the land and tell us what the parts of the town are.
Yeah, so Asari explains to you, and Varpu's never been here either. So the people that have been here in the group are just Paiviki's been here, Asari's been here, and Rolf, whose apparent partner was captured and killed by the word keepers here, right? So Rolf this whole time has been pretty much stoic. But Asari points out a few things about the village, which is built up along this stream that spills down out of the mountain. This is the main water source. Crosses this sort of plateau and then drops into the distance, and this is the headwaters of a river that's way down in the valley below, which you can't see at this time of night. The first thing Varpu points out to you is the quarry, the mine, where it's less of a traditional mine where you dig tunnels and pull ore out, and more like a quarry where you're kind of carving away at the surface to get at the stuff. So that's where zinc and copper and lead have all been found and have been quarried for a number of years now. And that industry has increased once the Korkeen moved in, and appears to be the main reason the Korkeen are here, because they want to control that. This is the town square. This is the council chambers where the town council meets. It's a slightly different. So architecture here is more stone than in Rayuna. Rayuna is mostly a wood construction, but up here most of the buildings are made out of just sort of flat layered stone. The area in front of the mine is where there's like actually a smelter and stuff for processing some of the stuff that they mine. And the rest of the village is mainly, just people going about their business. There's a mill down here. There's a mill pond and a mill down here. And Asari tells you that Captain Hilka, who is in charge of the word keepers, resides in the council house. So they never got a chance to build a word giver house like was built in Rayuna, because the Ladevisians fought back before they could do that. So Captain Hilka has taken over the council house, and that's Asari does not know where they would be keeping the two captives, which are Hela and Maiki. Those are the two allies of Asari who've been taken prisoner. He is not sure, because he hasn't dealt with this group of word keepers. He's the one that led the fight against the previous wave. So he's not sure of how they are handling things. He knows that previously part of the council house, the sort of downhill part of the council house, was used to hold, it was like the equivalent of a drunk tank. It was a place where they would hold people who had committed some transgression. But in this kind of new situation, he's not sure of where they would be keeping prisoners. So that's what you're looking at.
How do we get in, Mirren?
What time of day do you think it is? Is it morning still?
No, right now it's like the middle of the night.
Oh, middle of the night.
You guys have
perfect.
arrived. Yeah. Everybody is like, now the sweat's turned cold. People are like opening up their packs and, eating food in this moment's rest.
Mirren probably would defer to Varpu. Does Varpu have a plan?
Yeah, her plan is to let everybody take like a half-hour rest, and then to go into the city and assault the council house.
Ooh. Mm-mm.
So just like walk in, knock down a door or two, and let the word keepers have it. That's Varpu's plan.
Okay.
Is there? I would ask Aseri, is there any way into town that's not the direct road? It looks like it's pretty cliff, sided, so that are there any avenues or back ways into town?
Once you get down over the next ridge and close to the water, so the bridge is kind of the main way to get into the village, right? There's the river kind of creates a natural barrier between the two. It's not the river. The river could easily be swum, so that's not a problem. But the natural kind of choke point is the bridge. You could go, once you're down there, you could go along the river and cross at any point that you felt was safe. Another way would be, as Sari says, that anybody who's like a hardy climber, and he's from this village, so he counts, could scale the mountain, cross over, and come down in this wooded area on the far side.
Hmm.
So that would be a kind of secondary possible approach.
Well, if it's middle of the night, most people are in their own homes, right? No one's on the street.
That's right. Other than, you got to assume that some word keeper guards will be keeping watch.
Right.
And does Aseri think that there are just the 8 or 9 word keepers here now, or is it the 8 or 9 plus whoever was here before?
Whoever was here before, there were 4 originally. 2 of them were killed outright by Aseri and his fellow rebels before Aseri was captured. And his tongue was nearly cut out, and then he fought back and killed one of the 2 remaining word keepers, and then the rebels took over the village again, and they sent the last word keeper home to the capital with word that the Korkeen should not set foot in La Devassie again. And then they did.
Yeah. Is that why he has that cut across his mouth?
Yeah, that's right.
It's a theme.
Yeah, so, and including Captain Hilka, there are 8 of them here.
Okay. Taimi, you have any thoughts?
Nope, none immediately. I'm just taking notes.
I'm wondering if it makes sense for at least some of us to try the skirting around, maybe not the cliff face, but the skirting around town and sneaking in from a different direction, so that if anyone is stopped, that we could come at them from a different side and by surprise.
Right.
Or all at once.
They won't know the true number.
Yeah.
So to head down to over this second ridge and then upstream somewhere.
Yeah, cut over, so that we could meet at a different spot in town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could cut over below the cliff or above the cliff. You could even do it over here near the precipice.
Oh yeah, this reminds me of when we went into that other village, or the edge of that big city, and there was all the remember the dog that chased us?
Also, if there's 12 of us, maybe we should do maybe 3 groups even, just so it's a really small number that gets stopped if anyone gets stopped.
Ooh, like a main assault group and then 2 other.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would want us to stick together just to be able to communicate easily with each other.
The four of us, or
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
What if we send, or we have, I don't know. I don't want to come off looking like a coward, but what if we go down the like just like a side road, so not all the way up to the cliff, but just through town from the more northerly crossing.
Like here?
Yeah, or even a little farther up, but
Okay, yeah, like there.
yeah, like there.
Okay.
So that we could kind of be in earshot of anything that happened and come at some folks from a different direction if we needed to. Is that crazy?
Mm-mm.
A pincer movement?
It's a classic pincer move. Does that seem like something that Taimi as a hunter would get behind? Or is Taimi the warrior wanting to go straight in?
I mean, I don't think my hunter instinct is kicking in necessarily for this concrete jungle,
Right.
or dirt floor jungle. But definitely, I think there's value in like splitting up and flanking. I mean, that's always a wise maneuver.
Yeah, and then Laren just sort of is wary of Farpu's dogged heads-on approach as you. So yeah,
Yeah, so as you guys are having this conference, Farpu's going around and like checking to make sure, having everybody like show their daggers, checking to make sure that their quivers are clear and that they can draw arrows easily. So Farpu's going around and kind of like doing the kind of cross check on getting ready to make this attack.
How is everybody armed in that group of bandit types?
We are. They've got short bows, knives, and hatchets.
Do they all have short bows?
No.
Oh, okay. I had that extra crossbow that I was going to lend to somebody.
Oh yeah.
I talked about lending it to Maruka.
Yeah. Maruka would. You know who really wants it though?
Linnea?
Is Ralph.
Oh, Ralph. Yeah, I'll lend it to Ralph
Okay.
if he wants it.
I thought you were going to say the lazy guy.
Because he doesn't
get it.
Shoot.
Yeah. Don't got to get close. I don't have to move as far.
Yeah, I'll lend it to Ralph.
Yeah, so the people with short bows are Minea, Maruka, and Ralph's got the Minea, Maruka are the have short bows. Taru and Voito have hatchets. Arno has a hatchet, and John Larry has a knife.
yikes.
Sure.
And of course, Varpu has her crossbow and short sword.
I wonder if it makes any sense to see if we can find out where they are hidden before we rush into town, or at least find out where the word keepers are staying.
Varpu says, so Asari thinks that would be wise, and Varpu says, Varpu would rather just charge in, but says like, you're the one that's in a hurry. If you want to spend time getting the lay of the land, That's time not spent slitting throats.
Marin is happy to help scout if anyone else is going to do it too.
The candidates there would be, as before, Muirin, Minea, and Taimi, if you guys wanted to go on a scouting mission.
But again, is that a wisdom trait?
It could be dexterity, just be stealthy.
Oh, okay. Then
And
Taimi's.
if you think about it, if you're a team of 3, you'd be helping each other, basically.
Yeah.
How did the actual wording for teaming up when multiple people are doing the same task? All right. When 2 or more characters team up to accomplish the same task, the character with the best modifier rolls. Everyone else can help. So if you guys stuck together as a group, whoever has the best wisdom modifier, which I think in this case is Muirin, you'd get an additional +2 because Taimi
That's good.
and Minea would be helping you out. So that's you guys kind of hanging together as a scout squad and all kind of being quiet and peering around.
And Mirren, you have a crossbow now too, are you? Is
Yes.
that true or no?
Marin has somebody's, yes.
Has a crossbow, yeah.
That sounds like a plan.
Is any of you guys wearing chainmail?
Yes, but I can certainly take it off.
Recon team. I mean, it's relatively quiet, but if you move slowly and carefully and quietly, but it is a risk. It's totally up to you whether you want to do that or not.
No, I will leave it. I know the benefit of secret silence when you're stalking like this.
And just so I know that you've got it all written down, but Are you bringing just the crossbow or crossbow and short bow?
I haven't had my short bow for a while.
Okay, you left it behind.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like back at the cart?
Yeah, it is back at the cart.
Okay. So we got 2 people with crossbows, person with a short bow, no chainmail armor. Minea reminds Muirin of a kind of field mouse in terms of her unassuming stature and quietness. And she is totally prepared to accompany you guys on this mission. All right, so tell me what you're trying to accomplish. Like, what's your goal for this undertaking?
Well, we're looking for the positions of word keepers or what are the other ones? The word
giver.
Word keepers are the only ones who are here.
Yeah, we don't have a
Okay.
word giver here. It's a captain.
captain. And so the guards, and then maybe identify where the prisoners are being kept, but
I mean, I guess
there
one
anything
question
else?
we should really answer is it our goal to free the prisoners or to liberate the town? Because if it's to free the prisoners, then we want to know where they are a lot more. If it's to liberate the town, then in theory they would get freed after we capture or kill everybody.
This is true.
Varpu just wants to kill people. Aseri's first priority is rescuing his friends.
Yep.
And then after that, this is his town, and you guys can leave, as I think was discussed, right? That you might actually help this happen and then just leave regardless of what these guys were going to do. So Asari's priority would be to rescue his friends and then drive out the word keepers.
I would stay to drive out the word keepers too. I wouldn't want to just leave after halfway through.
No, not after just rescuing the friends. No.
Okay, so then does it make sense that trying to figure out where the friends are would be part of this mission? So,
Sense if that's Asari's goal, because that's really important to him. What do you guys think?
I think that the prisoners would be under more threat than the others just because of their position, but
Yeah, that makes sense.
like they're in a more dangerous, a more vulnerable position.
yeah, more vulnerable.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Right.
So then primary goal, locate prisoners. Secondary goal, positions of word keepers. Is that fair?
Okay, yeah, because you do want to rescue them. The point is to rescue them, I think.
So
for
Muirin,
Asir.
as the leader of this recon team, person with high wisdom, can you draw the kind of route that you will take, whatever route you want to take to like try to gather information about these goals?
Well, can Weirin have like a gut feeling that the prisoners are kept near the quarry?
I mean, if you want to say that, you can. So my proposal to you
find
right
answer.
now, my proposal to you right now is to take the drawing tool in Zoom. Do you know how to get that? And that sounds like a perfectly great. If it sounds like Muirin has a gut feeling that they might be there, draw how you're going to get there.
Okay.
And if you want, that can be all you worry about for this, and you'll make a roll for that section, for that leg, let's say, of this mission, and then decide what to happen after that. Or you can give me, you're going to go there, and then you're going to go somewhere else. So if you want, you could just say that's your first kind of leg, and then you can make a decision after you do that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess her very basic thought is to start high and then go lower.
Okay. Cool.
I wonder if there's any way that we can signal each other. Like if things go really badly, how you guys can let us know that, like a whistling, crossbow bolt or some kind of a thing.
That'd be tough. I don't know if you'd see a crossbow bolt at night.
No, I was like, they had, some people made those ones that would make a whistle.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying that we have that, but some way that you guys could signal us.
And we'll say that the main group actually stealthily can make their way down to this ridge here and be kind of positioned on top of that spot. Okay, so you're a little closer.
Yeah.
But yeah, what can you?
Maybe just shouting really loud.
Sound would definitely carry, it's a still night. It's up in the mountains. There's echoing. If you shout towards the mountain as opposed to away from the mountain, shouting could work. I'd love the idea of a whistling arrow. I don't know if that's something that Taimi would have or if somebody else might have. Taimi, no. Some kind of
Can we
light.
do like animal calls or bird calls that are specific to a different?
I don't know at that volume. I'm sure it can probably do a couple bird whistles, but like not like full-throated screaming volume.
Well, you could also do the classic Robin Hood thing where like you situate yourself at 3 points along the line and whistle to each other to send the signal back, right? So that the whole team is not at the front with Muirin, but like Monet has a certain distance back, Taimi's a certain distance back, and the whistle signal gets carried that way, but then you'd be all split up.
Yeah.
No on that.
We could say that we'll wait for a signal. If something happens, you can let us know however best you can. And if we don't get one, we'll come after you in like an hour.
I would give it a little bit more time.
Okay.
I think this might require some patience if we're going to really get close to some structures that might house prisoners.
Yeah, and timekeeping is I'm going to say that Aseri has like a candle that he can light and keep track, right? And like when the candle burns out, because there's no it's night. You don't have any. I mean, people have, back then. I'm assuming people's biological clocks were incredibly accurate, but you'd have to have some kind of mutually agreed upon fuse.
I wonder if we'd have like some kind of countdown or Carpenter's song or something that I could like mumble to myself to keep time.
Right.
Yeah, long song.
Just a long, repetitive song. Yeah. Anyway, we'll say an hour. Well, the time he's saying we'll need more time than that. An hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever time limit you guys set.
Yeah,
is fine. And maybe there'll be an improvised signal. Maybe people just book it and run. But in any case, when this time is up, the rest of the team will take action. All right. And remember, so this is an example of, as you get into this situation, if something occurs to you after you're in the thick of it, you can always try to establish that you did something beforehand, right? The same way that Taimi tried to establish that, she was along with Muir in that time that she ran into Joe Mary.
Right.
So, yeah.
And what's the stat for that? Or what do you roll for?
Establishes intelligence.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this first leg here is to find answers, to figure out. It's nighttime. You're all stealthy folk. I guess one question is crossing the river. I guess you're all going to have to get wet when you get up above the cliff through the trees there. So everybody's going to have to. You can actually wade across at that point, so you'd get wet up to your waist if you're going to cross that way. Yeah, so you're finding answers, and Donna, it's going to be wisdom to sense or discern, or intelligence to recall or study. In this case, it would be study. I think wisdom's better for you. Is that right?
Yes. And then the sense danger, it's like directional. It's like if in every movement I take, it's sort of like, is the danger in front of me? Or
it's like in your immediate vicinity and it's about to happen to you. It doesn't have to be in front of you.
Okay.
It's close by and it's about to happen. You can't sense danger that's like on a slow burn. You know what I mean? It's like there's an animal about to attack or there's somebody about to ambush you. That's when you can sense it the moment, just like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The moment before it happens. You have a chance to react before other people can react.
Great.
Okay, so you get that. What's your wisdom modifier?
2.
2,
And then
you get
+2, right?
and you get +2 for your teammates here. So, and that's maxing out. That's the highest modifier you can actually get. Is it maxes out at +4.
Wow.
So,
So
roll the
does this
dice.
mean that we're trying to see if that first pink line that I drew is like you get there safely, or
What you're rolling for is to find the answers about first where the prisoners might be located and positions of word keepers inside the village. If they're anywhere kind of close to this line that you've drawn and you roll well, you'll get that information.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's a complication or I make a move, it might have to, then we might get into this issue where you have to actually be more stealthy and it might get a little more kind of tense as far as moving around goes. But you've got a lot of good assistance here with your teammates, so this is probably going to be an easy life.
Well, I mean, I did just roll a 5 +4,
Yeah.
so a 9, which is a mixed result.
Right. So on fine answers, I'll tell you what that is. The judge's answer is cryptic or incomplete, but they'll tell you how to learn more. On a 10,
Okay.
I'll give you a clear and thorough answer, and you can ask follow-up questions.
How to learn more. I guess I'll just I can burn another luck just to get a clear answer.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys leave the team, descend the hillside totally silently, make your way across some of the fields on the near side of that river and through the fir trees. I think there's like a low angle shot through the trees, passing the different trunks, and we see the couple of candles in the windows of huts across the river. You get to the kind of cliff where the little waterfall is, and it's not like a sheer cliff, so you're able to kind of scrabble up those rocks, no problem. Cross through some more woods, get to the babbling river, and wade through the incredibly cold water. Come out the other side. Crouch low, make your way across the fields on top of the plateau there. There's like some goats. There's like a chicken house with sleeping chickens in it. You come out onto this, along this edge of this road, carefully cross. And this whole time, everybody in the group is like, there's moments where you pause and you're just really, really quiet and listening and peering around. And the village seems asleep. You don't hear, you might hear distant like some voices, but you don't hear anything that seems unusual or out of the ordinary. You make way across this other set of fields and to the edge of the smelting area, and the air in this area, actually, before you even get there, that you smell the kind of residual, kind of harsh odor of the smelting process, which kind of lingers over this whole area. And you get to the foot. There's these stairs that go up the side of this hill. You get there and you're sort of hiding in the trees to one side of those stairs, and everybody's looking around, and you look down and you can just sort of see a little bit of the village square. There's apparently some torches that are creating some warm pools of light in the village square. Where you are, it's totally dark. There's no light around. The mine appears to be totally inactive. There's nobody there at all. You're curious about this structure further up the stairs, and you make your way through the woods, and you get within like 20 or 30 feet of there's like a low wall around this building, and there's a gate in the wall, and you're sort of in the trees, and Warren holds up her hand, and everybody, Manea and Taimi freeze, and everybody's kind of looking because Warren heard footsteps. And you see the helmet of a word keeper on the other side of the gate, right? So the gate comes up. The The gate probably comes up to shoulder height, but from your angle, you can just see the kind of starlight glinting off this steel helmet of a word keeper just on the other side of it. And you hear a and then the kind of clank, clank, clank as he walks away from the gate. So there's a word keeper there, at least one, and you're allowed to ask follow-up questions. Anything that you might reasonably discern from where you're at.
Taimi, do you have questions?
Oh, I was going to ask if anybody can ask a question or just the roller.
You can certainly suggest it to the roller. That's
I'd be curious to whether there's any more word keepers on patrol. It seems like this guy's like, or I guess that would be the first question. Is this guy patrolling, or is he just spit going for his nightly spit?
Time for my spit. Yeah, so Mirren creeps a little closer to the wall. You want to find out the answer to that, Donna? It's not going to, this is all part of your role that you succeeded at, so it's not going to cost you anything. Yeah. And you, actually what you probably do is you probably climb up one of the trees a little bit to peer down into the courtyard. And you see this word keeper walk back to the structure. It looks like it might be either, well, it's unclear. It's just like a simple stone structure. There's a sloped roof on it. And next to the door, the front door, is a second word keeper. These guys are both armed the way you would expect them to be, as you've gotten used to them. And the guy next to the door, there's actually a bracket next to the door that's holding a torch. So the courtyard is lit by torchlight. So there's two word keepers visible.
And they basically are stationed here and patrol.
They appear to be awake and guarding this building. The guy that just spat, walks back and they mutter some things to each other near the door.
Can we know what specifically they're guarding if it's not just a building?
So you can ask follow-up questions about the question you asked. I'm trying to think of what. Yeah, so you notice that the door is barred from the outside, which indicates to you that somebody is being kept inside. And you also realize there's no windows in this structure.
Oh, I was going to ask. What is the structure made of again?
Stone, like it's
okay.
Flat stone that's just stacked.
Yeah. I guess, Taimi whispers or this seems, I would put, a number of cups of red cap on the fact that the prisoners are probably inside there. And that's 2 of the 7 or 2 of the 8. Do we want to head back and maybe see if we can spot a couple more? If the group took a similar route to what we just took, then they would only have to face 2.
Right. And
as far as phase 1 goes.
And you just sort of, I guess then the question is, how is the door locked? Is it?
Great question.
Do you think there's a key, or is there is it that kind of lock, or is it like? So
there are 2 brackets set into the stone on either side of the door, just like shaped like that, and laying across them is probably like a beam of wood that's probably 2 or 3 inches thick and 6 inches high. It's a pretty sturdy beam of wood that is laid right across that. And there are brackets in the door also. So there's 2 brackets in the stone, 2 brackets in the door, and the beam is connecting all of them. So if you tried to open the door without that in any direction with the beam there, it wouldn't budge. So there doesn't appear to be any kind of lock and key. Sorry, Donna, you're muted.
Sorry. So it's basically just locked in a way, as you said, that anything inside cannot get out.
Right, and anybody outside can't get in unless you remove that beam. Yeah, the bar is keeping the door from moving at all.
Cool. Do those word keepers can wear and tell how like I guess fierce or committed to or I don't know, like are they
yeah, you're looking
they're
for
not
signs
lazy,
of
right?
signs of weakness. You're looking for so that's a separate financiers role because it's not related to, you know what I mean?
What you can see,
You
yeah.
know where they are. You know that this may be a place where prisoners are being held, but now you're trying to assess them as individuals, which is a different thing. And you can totally do that, but it's going to take a roll. What do you say? You going to go for it?
Well, I would get +4 because of my helpers. No?
Let's see. If they can reasonably help you, right? Like
okay.
a team of 3 moving through a village scanning and recon, that makes sense. But like 3 people trying to...
Right. Okay.
Like, no offense, I don't think Taimi's a great judge of character. Just because of the wisdom level, right? Like, or maybe that's not true, John. Like, what do you think about Taimi's ability to judge character?
I think that she has like a gut instinct that is maybe not as nuanced. I think that nuance escapes her.
Oh, okay.
When it comes to judging people.
Great. Awesome.
So I don't know if I'll be able to judge whether these guys, like, saw season 2 of Stranger Things and are disappointed.
Well,
that's what they're talking about right now.
I knew it.
Can you believe that scene where?
Oh my gosh!
Where she goes to the.
Yeah.
That bit where she goes to the city.
Wasn't that season 1? I'm gonna say that just Marin's guess then is just that because of their word keeping oaths, they are just they're basically going to be like fight till we die types of people. So
are you trying to like judge whether like they would give up the fight easily if confronted by a team of people running up to them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a hard thing to discern at a distance. I mean, we could see, do they look tired? Do they look like they are pulling the graveyard shift? Or do they look like they are nocturnal? And that
they look bored. There's no spring in their step. They're just kind of like, it's like desultory conversation they're having. They don't look tired or like they're going to fall asleep or anything like that. They just are not. They're just like, they're on duty.
Yeah, it's like same old.
Yeah, same old is basically the situation. Yeah, so I think that's a fair guess, Donna, to say that these guys are known, word keepers are known for doing their job, Varpu being a notable exception to that, right?
Well, I guess then I'll save my financiers roles for other scouting areas.
Okay. Great. So you got that information. What do you guys do next?
I think we would try to find the other 6.
at least as many as we could. But looking at the map, I'm trying to think of what would be a route that would set us up for success. I don't know like what else they would be guarding unless they were just patrolling and we see them by chance. There was like a council hall or something that they're holed up in?
Yeah, the council hall is this building here.
Can you zoom in a tiny bit more, Jason?
I can try.
Enhance.
Right. Wait, is that not doing it? Oh. Huh.
It's okay.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. That's great.
Yeah, so this is that's the council hall, and you guys are here.
I mean, if that village is lit up or the square is lit up, you might be able to see guards moving around in that area too. So that council house place seems like a good next position.
Would you be interested in kind of like going around to the back of it and maybe getting some height somehow?
Because
So-
it's right on a slope, right?
Yep. So like this. Kind of-
Yeah. I mean, ideally, I don't think neither of us want to climb up the council house, but if there is the slope behind it, we can maybe get enough height, or just look in the alleyways to the left and right of it into the square.
So to move cautiously this way, and as you kind of go onto the slope behind it, peer through the gaps to see what's going on in the square. Like close to the buildings, like closer like this, or staying well away from the light of the square.
What do you think, Weird?
Further away is my
Further away? Okay. So just kind of scout those things from a distance. And now your question is, you're trying to locate word keepers, right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, make the roll again. +4.
Okay, gotta roll good this time. Okay, this is better. 12.
Oh,
Wait,
geez.
sorry, 6 plus 2 plus 4. Yeah. Okay, 8 plus 4 is 12.
Okay. So you guys make your way back through the trees. Right here, looking this way, you see, you hear the crink, 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 and you see a word keeper walking this way. So he just passes that opening. So you see him move, and then you carry on, getting over to the far side of this, so you're off of the main thoroughfare here, and you peer down into the main square from up there. And it appears that some kind of wooden sort of gallows has been erected in the center of the square, and a body is dangling from the top of it. Not hanging like from a rope. Like it's a wooden pole structure with like the classic kind of thing sticking out from it, and the person seems to be suspended. Their head is very close to the wooden jutting out thing there at the top, whatever you call that thing. So there's a moment where you pause and you're ready to move on. So from this distance, you can't. It's a body.
No, I don't understand what you're saying. Like they're suspended. Like are they like in a harness? Are they like holding on like pull-up style, or is somebody?
No, they're hanging from something. It's just not like when you think of like a hangman's noose. It's not like a long rope. So they're hanging from they're attached somehow. Their head is attached somehow to the wooden cross piece, as opposed to being hanging at a distance by a rope. So they're just quite close to the. So let me see if I can. Here's the thing, and they're like that.
Okay.
Got it.
But we think that might be the body of Rolf's partner.
And I guess and in fact, Minea freezes. And you guys are ready to kind of move on, and Minea's still there, and you actually have to kind of call to her to break her out of it. So it's very clear that that's who it is. And I should say, Timey, as you pause and try to figure out what's going on, you see rope kind of attached, rope extending from the yard armor, or whatever you call it, coming down and wrapped around the main body of the thing here. So you surmise that this person has been sort of hoisted up.
And then left like as a threatening image, basically, for the.
Right. It definitely appears to. It's definitely a public display meant to strike fear and submission into the hearts of the villagers. As you're kind of checking that out from a distance, the word keeper that you saw before walks by it and heads down the main steps. You continue along the way, and when you get to here, peering down through this gap, you see just and the reason you can tell is because you see the torchlight reflecting off their armor, but you get just the edge of a ward keeper who appears to be standing at the entrance to the council house. And then you move over behind, and from the back of the council house, you can see it's the only two-story structure in the village. And on the back side, there is a window on the ground floor in this upper wing, let's call it. The main, and on the upper floor in the main building, there are two windows. And then this lower structure from your vantage point does not appear to have any windows in it on the backside. There's no light. All the windows are dark. And I should say, so there's no glass. The windows here are open spaces in these stone buildings. Many of them have just wooden shutters that are closed from the inside. The windows, one of the upper story windows is shuttered and the other one is open. And you're perched on the hillside.
And then we can ask questions.
Yeah, if there's anything, given that, if there's any further details that you want to know about.
Do you have questions, Taimi?
No, we know that two more are in the town square now.
And assuming one inside the actual building, the council house, right?
Yeah, I mean, if they, I wouldn't be surprised if they have 4 patrolling during the day and 4 patrolling during the night.
Yeah, given the scope of how the distance, can we watch like the one that moves from the middle of the square down the stairs? Like what is their route and how long does it take them?
Yeah, so do you want to just wait for one circuit, or do you want to actually follow them?
Oh yeah, wait for one's. Oh, because if I can't see them, then I don't know where they went.
Right, but if you back up to a particular vantage point, you can just wait for them to come. If they're on a circuit, you can wait for them to come around, or you could try to stealthily follow them to actually see their route, the actual specific route. And that would not be a find answers roll. That would be a saving throw with dexterity to sort of follow them at a distance safely.
I mean, my gut is to sort of just wait and watch for them to return and see how long that takes. But Taimi, do you feel, or do you have a opinion.
No. No. I mean, yeah, we can creep closer. I can certainly try. Jason, could you get rid of that annotation of the guy hanging?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I can creep close. I'm sorry. What's going on? I'm sorry. I zoned out a bit because I was a little shaken.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Are we trying to creep close to see if the guy comes out of the house again?
The choices were to follow the guard stealthily to see his route, or to wait in place to see how long it takes him to do his circuit.
I don't know. I don't know whether this is a Taimi thought or a John thought, but like I don't know if we need to like know their like full route, because it's not like the group of like 12 of us are going to be stealthy. Like I think we could stealth up to like the first hit, and then like it's going to go downhill. I mean, it would be great if we could. But if that's something that Muira's interested in, I'm certainly willing to do that.
I guess Mirren is trying to figure out how many guards are on the field of this, like, patrolling actively at nighttime, and how many we can then count are resting in the house. But from here, how about if I just, can you point out, Jason, from what we can see, are there other spots that are lit as if somebody might be there watching or walking?
Oh, like in the village overall, like what are the most lit places?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a couple of, in the square, there's several posts with torches on them that light up the whole area. There is a light next to the front door here. This courtyard here was lit up by external torchlight. And that everything else is like small lights. Most of the houses are dark, but everything else is like small, possibly candlelight inside buildings. But as far as exterior lights, those are the main things you've seen.
Is that something that is like particularly striking? Like, is there any part of Rayuna that's lit up like that 24/7?
No.
Okay.
No, Rain is the kind of place where people find their way around by moonlight, and you get out the torch or the lantern when you need to go, find something in the barn or whatever that needs more light. People in Rayuna are very comfortable with the night.
I mean, Taimi is not a big fan of the Colkeen, and like this kind of illumination of their cruelty is just like really, really infuriating. So I think also she is eager to like get back to the group and like start bashing heads.
Okay, so that's got Taimi's blood going.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's doing the trick.
Yeah.
It's doing the trick.
So, Marin, do you want to stay put and wait to see how long that guy takes, or do you want to try to follow him on his route, or do something else?
I think that we've seen a good amount, and so what we probably want to do is should we just go back the way we came, where we know that there were no guards?
In terms of us not giving up the game, I think that seems like it would be the easiest and most straightforward option. The only other thing would be to swing south to see if there was any more patrolling. But then again, even if we do see them, I guess that would give us the knowledge that there are like 5 awake versus 4 awake. But
I mean, if we saw 5 just now, or no, we saw 4, and we assume maybe 4 inside. I think
that's what that's what I would think.
Yeah, Murin wants to be fast and doesn't want to get spoil the good knowledge we got just now. So we'll just go back the way we came.
Don't spoil the good knowledge. Okay. Okay, so you make the call and consult with Taimi, and you guys agree that you'll head back. So you go back the way you came, and trying to think. Yep, and it's basically who has the lowest luck out of the two of you?
Well, mine is 10, so
yeah, not me.
I guess your luck is insane, right?
Very lucky.
Okay,
so I've been spending it.
Oh yeah, and you've been spending it. So Weirin needs to roll to get lucky.
Because going back without any kind of incident is a lucky thing.
Yeah, there's a chance that something might happen on the way back. Something in particular that I have in mind.
+0 because it's a luck roll.
Yeah, well, if you got a 10, yeah, but it's +0, and you don't get to spend luck on it.
Oh man, so much for that. Okay, 8.
Okay. Okay. Where are you picturing? What's the order of the three of you? I'm picturing Weirin at the front for high perception, and then who's Taimi? Are you in the middle or bringing up the rear?
I would probably take up the rear. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys get here, and you hear a. And Taimi, you look over and there's a mastiff standing next to this house. You know, it's one of these big wiry-haired dog that's kind of like growling lowly at you. It's not barking; it's just going.
I don't have any rations.
I have all the rations.
Does my half bar of soap, does that smell?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, is it like essentially like tallow? Does it just smell like fat, like bacon?
I'm thinking it was pine tar soap was what I was thinking. So no, but I see what you're saying. You can totally roll to get lucky or establish. You can roll to establish that if you want.
I would actually wager that if I found it on a word keeper, it's probably better soap. I feel like pine sap soap would be better. That seems like it would be harder to come by and harder to make than fat soap, which I feel like we must just be rolling in fat in this day. So yeah, it is probably pine tar.
Okay.
But that's like the smelliest thing I have. Weirin, do you have anything that might distract it?
Um,
I don't want to kill it.
So are you actually asking Weirin? Like so there's the moment you see the dog. Do you say, Weirin, do you have?
No, I guess not. I guess I just kind of like reach past Maruka, and I like Menea, and I just like tap Weirin on the shoulder forcefully, and then like.
Are you
Minea,
making a move?
no, I think Taimi's trying to see if you have any food. Is that right? Or just notifying? Just notifying.
I guess notify.
Okay.
I there's no way I can communicate what I want.
Okay, so just tap, tap, and point.
Yeah.
Minea reaches into her pouch and flings a piece of jerky towards the dog. Giving you guys time to elude its attention. Then you make your way back across the river and back to your companions.
Nice. Whew, Minea.
And
Yeah,
from that,
I was thinking.
from the report that you guys deliver, Paiviki, you are able to figure out that the guard that they saw patrolling, from your vantage point, you saw the lantern of that guard move down to the bridge and then up this way. While they were gone, you saw that happen 3 times. So you kind of realized that there was some kind of patrol going on, and now that you hear the report from these guys, it appears that they saw the same guard.
Okay. And there was another guard they saw up in the square as well.
There was a guard
Mhm.
at the front door of the council house.
Okay. So
So
it sounds like there's one guard patrolling the town, one in front of the council house, 2 up at the line, and we don't know if there's one at the bridge or anybody else, but it's a good start.
Well, we would know if there's one by the bridge, right? Because that's how we got up north to the.
I think this bridge here is what Jan's talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You didn't see one, so when you went down and you went up this way, you got some view of that area, and you didn't see any obvious person when you guys went that way.
What do you think if we give a group another chance to head back to the jail and then give it a count of 10 minutes or whatever, and then send the main group across the bridge, and I guess it depends on if we want to break the jail first or if we want to fight first.
I mean, we talked about that before we went on a reconnaissance. It sounds like breaking them out is the priority. So I would offer that maybe we go get the jail and then pincer move the square.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was semi-formulating. Send a large enough group to take those 2 guards up there, and then give them enough time to start.
Oh, got it. Maybe so, not like half and half, but
through the main way.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Would you guys hang together for this plan as well?
I think so.
Varpu is obviously all ready to lead that team.
Right.
And then the other team would just repeat that route, right?
Right. Well, Taimi is a good shot. Maybe, because I mean, to really break out the prisoners, you've got to figure out how to get past those guards.
Yeah.
Poison them. But that would be obvious.
Do you have any poison?
I think we still have
some of the
do I have the deadly one? But I might have. I don't know if I used all of them. Also, they'd have to drink it, so that wouldn't really work, right?
Yeah, you'd have to somehow get them to.
I'm remembering also that we have this oil that we can anoint our weapons with.
Uh-huh.
And I'm trying
Oh,
to remember
yeah.
what Locke said, how long it would last.
I thought like a week.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Oh, I get what you're saying. That actually might, yeah, that might work in this case.
What I was understanding was that it would give our weapons an advantage in fighting foes of a different alignment than us. Someone
I think literally opposite alignment.
opposite alignment.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing I'm worried about is I seem to recall there being some sort of like period of adjustment. I don't remember whether it was a day or something, and I don't have my first notebook with me.
I don't remember.
I think you just have to if you just take the time to, apply it attentively, it should do the trick. If any of this magic stuff is real.
Yeah, it's all real. How many uses do we have of that? I'm trying to remember.
One each.
Just one each.
Or one jar each, yeah. And I don't even know what sort of rules you would apply to like bolts, or if this is something that could even work on bolts.
Huh. It is oil meant to be applied to a blade. But I could buy that. I could maybe buy that it might have some application there. Yeah.
I guess I never stopped to think if a crossbow bolt doesn't have a metal tip to it, then I don't think there's any way that you could argue that it was meant for a blade, or that the oil would work on it.
If it doesn't have a metal tip, yeah, no, it would have to have a metal tip, and that's feasible that you would have metal tips or hardened wood would be the simplest kind.
Yeah.
But Taimi probably has metal tipped arrows. I think if you're like a hunter, even like iron or bronze is not too hard to come by. Bone, right?
We're using the crossbows.
Yeah,
so,
we're using.
Oh yeah, those definitely have metal tips. Yeah.
Oh really? The bolts for the crossbows have metal tips?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna can I use it on my spear then?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna rub it on.
Okay, so maybe you've been doing that while these guys are away on this mission. They come back and you're oiling up your spear.
Yeah.
What do you think in terms of teams? Aseri is definitely going with you to the apparent jail. So he's going to be on team 1.
And you said that Varpu was also team 1?
No, Varpu is the numbers that I ended up applying. Team 1 is jail. Team 2 is
got it.
Main Street. Varpu would be the leader of the team 2 team. I think, I think Ralph is going with Varpu. Are you guys all going to be on the prison break?
I would be, unless there's a reason not to.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it just makes sense for ease of session.
Well, there could be some. Remember John in our Withering World game, the final, that final city.
Yeah.
With the different teams doing different things. Okay, so we got Aseri, Paiviki, Taimi, Moiran.
Yeah, I feel like the jailbreak team would appreciate Taimi's like sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we could maybe attack the other word keepers from behind if we can play our cards right.
Elf, Arnu.
Is anyone besides Aseri coming with us? Is Minea coming back, or is she?
Minea's coming with you guys. Yeah.
Okay.
So the other team is Varpu, Ralph, Arno, Taru, Maruka, Jalmari, and Voito. Oh yeah, and you guys have Anika too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on your team, 7 on the other team.
Are they? But Arno's not with them, right?
Oh, right. Sorry, Arno's back at camp, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So that is 6 and 6. And let's see, Aseri has a hatchet and a short bow. Renea has a short bow and a knife. Okay. So the plan is to give Prison Break team a lead, right?
Yeah.
As the ideal outcome that you guys accomplish your thing before any kind of main fracas occurs, so then you can then join.
Yeah. With the caveat that they don't wait too long, because if everybody gets word of what we're doing and we get surrounded, we want them to be coming right in and backing us up.
Okay.
So if all the word keepers converge on us, we want the other team to be right there attacking them from behind.
Right.
And vice versa. If the main fight ends up happening with them, we want to be done so that we can join
Okay.
the fight.
Okay. Right. So you want to try your thing first, and then shortly after that, they'll do their thing. So ideally, if you accomplish your thing, then, and if it goes the other way, then they can come after you.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So your team is heading out. Everybody takes a moment. Minea and Maruka kind of embrace, just as like a actually Minea goes and either like grasps forearms or embraces everybody except Varpu. And Minea is the only one who she and Voito exchange a glance. They don't touch, but they exchange a meaningful glance. Aseri takes a moment. You see Aseri standing facing Ralph with his hands on Ralph's shoulders, and they're kind of speaking in hushed words, and then they kind of press heads together for a moment, and then break apart. So everybody's splitting up. Any parting words for the other team?
No.
Okay. Now you're a bigger crew. I think of all of you to get to where you go. So basically what you do, it makes most sense to wait for that patrolling guard to get past, right? You can now that you know who it is, you can watch the lantern, right? You guys can even, it gets to the bridge, turns up this way. You can descend the ridge behind these fields. You can track where the lantern goes. You can see it go up these stairs to the top of the cliff. And then by the time he's turning this way, you guys are crossing the river up here, right?
Yeah.
So you're sort of following behind him. Minea is ready with more jerky for the dog. And this time you hug the cliff behind the trees over here to come with as least amount of potential visibility as possible. And in the dead of night, the 6 of you are in this stand of fir trees at the edge of the hill with that walled courtyard. What do you do?
is that like shooting distance, or is we still have to get closer?
Yeah, this is just the point at which you can do whatever you want to do. You could, you can't from down here. You can't see over the wall, so you can't shoot at them. To shoot over the wall, you'd have to. It'd be hard to do it from up on a tree, but it'd be possible, especially for somebody like Muir or Taimi, because you guys are both kind of agile climbers. Yeah, so they've got this wall around them, which makes it a little harder for them to shoot. There's a kind of separate little mine. There's this ladder that leads up to this ledge over here. So from that ledge, you might be able to get some shots into that courtyard.
How big is the wall around the courtyard? Like the wall that's closer to the tip of that arrow?
It's about 5 feet high.
So if there's a wall, if we could sneak right up to the wall, we could just pop over it.
Boop. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I could stand on someone's back or.
Okay, so everybody is that the so Paiviki, I guess between Paiviki and Aseri, in terms of who's in charge. Ooh, he's a leader. He's smart. Okay, so there's a consultation between Paiviki and Aseri. You suggest getting close to the wall, and then like everybody over, or just archers, or what?
It's, I think, everybody close up so that we can be ready to jump over the wall.
So
Yeah.
like, stealthy approach to be in position would be the first step. Okay.
That sounds good.
The person most likely to make noise is Annika.
Oh. Why is that?
Out of all of you, well, what's Paiviki's dexterity is?
Paviki's dexterity is currently down to 9
Oh, okay. So actually,
because she got tired.
yeah. Well, it's up to you. You can have you can roll for Annika or you can roll for Paiviki. It's yeah, one of those two.
I'll roll for myself.
Okay.
I'll take the blame if anything happens. So I'm rolling for dexterity.
Yep. This is for the whole team. Because the whole team is doing this thing, the person with the lowest ability is the one most likely to cause a problem.
Oh,
The
yeah.
lowest stealth, right? So this is to see if you can get up there without drawing any attention to yourself.
I got plenty of bonds. I'm just saying, if anybody has some good advice for Paiviki to keep her quiet.
Yeah,
You have to
be
declare bonds before or after the roll.
I think before. Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 with Paiviki. I'll use 1. I see Paiviki walking towards a couple of stones that I know are like, she'll step on them and it will most likely make her stumble. And I just kind of like put my hand on her side and kind of nod down towards the stones.
Fantastic, great.
Yes.
Great. I love it.
So do I fill in that block?
You mark it, yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I need all the help I can get.
So what does that give you? +1?
That gives me a +1. Here we go.
Woo!
Got a 10.
Oh,
Plus
okay.
1 is 11.
Okay. All 6 of you are crouched down in position alongside the courtyard wall. I assume bows are out for those who have them, so that's everybody, right? Out of all you guys, everybody's got one. Wow.
Oh, let it
I
rip.
don't have one. I didn't. No, I gave my bow to Maruka.
Oh, okay. So there's
No,
5. We got.
Ralph. I gave my bow to Ralph.
Oh, right. So there's 3 crossbows and 2 short bows. What's the move, Paiviki?
I'm wondering about disarming them with a magical spell. But I think maybe the pop-up move would be the way to go first. And then if they try to respond, then disarm them.
Are you wanting to pop up and shoot them, or pop up and just be like, hold, hands up?
Ah, that's a good question.
Because if you don't specify, Tiny's going to shoot them.
Yeah, no. I figured she was ready to shoot them. I think under the circumstances and the danger that we're all in, I think that probably shooting them is probably the better, piece of advice at this moment. If they get badly injured, we can always care for them later.
I mean, as guards, they're probably wearing armor, right? So.
Oh yeah, they've got chainmail on.
I mean, as a hunter, would Taimi just shoot right at the head, or?
Could certainly try that shot. Yeah.
With the with those crossbows, it would go right through the chainmail. So.
Oh, okay. It goes through chainmail. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. It's a +2, isn't it? Piercing.
Heavy crossbow. Pierce 2.
Yeah, it eats chainmail for breakfast.
Right. Should two people aim for 2 of the guards?
Yeah, two each.
Okay.
We've got 4 crossbows, right?
You got 3.
3.
Tiny, Mirren, and Annika.
Okay. And then just to be clear, if
Ralph.
you shoot a crossbow,
Ralph's on the other team.
Oh,
Sorry,
and
Donna.
then
What were you saying?
if you shoot a crossbow, how long does it take to load a second one?
It takes a little while.
Like
by the time you got it loaded, they would be across the courtyard, or they'd be taking shelter somewhere.
Okay.
That's the drawback to the crossbow. It's going to punch through that chainmail, but it's going to take you a while to crank it back into position.
Well,
I
maybe
watched a video of 2 guys, one guy with a crossbow and one guy with a longbow. And the guy with the longbow got off like 12 shots
yeah.
that makes sense.
in the time. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
But we're ready to fight, and Minea has a short bow, so she can keep up with that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
With Minea, Annika, and us 3. Is there another person in our team?
Asari's with you.
Oh, Asari.
Yeah, and he has a short bow as well. He has a short.
Okay, so 3 crossbows and 2 short. So there's actually 5 arrow.
Yeah. Let's try it.
Okay. What's the call on? So there's 2 guards, and for purposes of this exercise, let's say when you pop up, there's one on either side of the door. There's a left guard and a right guard.
Yeah.
2 crossbows on one crossbow on the other. What do you do with the short bows?
2 short bows on the other one.
Okay, on the guy that has one. Okay, got it.
And Paiviki is going to give the call to pop up.
Nice.
And hopefully use her leadership to coordinate a very well coordinated attack.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about that.
Well coordinated attack.
Let's just make sure we know who we're dealing with here. There they are. Okay, so Paiviki's gonna. What's the wording on that move?
I whispered on my mark. Now, I mean, I'd already told them.
Yeah, right.
But then she gives the command for everybody to pop up.
And then can you, now you're going to roll the leader move, right?
Okay. I rolled an 8 plus 2, so 10.
Okay, and what is it?
All allies take +1 ongoing to act on those orders until the battle is over. So that's not much of a long-term command, but
I mean, it's all of the arrows being shot, right? So
all the arrows being shot.
yeah,
Yeah.
so Aseri and Minea, as long as they keep shooting, they'll get that +1.
Okay.
Okay, great. And everybody roll some dice. Weirin and Taimi.
And so it's our dex, right?
Yep.
Ugh. I got a 7 because Paiviki gave us a +1, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So my total is 7.
Okay. Taimi.
I got 11.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, I have an 8, but that doesn't matter. Sorry.
I'm gonna use 1 medal to revel in battle and handicap. And I don't know. Could I give you? I'm looking at the different conditions. I mean, the 2 that you have here: hindered, stunned. What would be more useful for him to drop his weapon or him be unable to call out, like the wind was knocked out of him?
Oh, or like.
I think drop his weapon. I think that is more in tune with like the examples that you've given here.
Okay.
So I want him to be like, yeah, stunned. We'll just say stunned. Stunned for.
So in that moment when you like pop up over the wall, in that moment you see that your target. Are you shooting at the left guy or the right guy? It sort of doesn't matter. Just tell me which one.
The guy by the door.
Okay. Right now they're one on either side of the door.
Okay, left guy.
Left guy. Thanks. I just need to track that for.
Yeah.
No weapons are actually drawn, so you would be if you stunned him somehow, just by the sheer shock of being hit, then that would definitely, he'd have to recover from that. So aiming for whatever, like, we'll see. Great. Okay, and Donna, you are going to either mark off an ammo, roll damage twice, and use the lower roll, or attract unwanted attention.
Oh.
I'll mark an ammo.
Okay, so mark off an ammo. And Jan, so we're not rolling damage quite yet. Just if we do this all at once, I'll be able to more clearly paint the picture of what happens. Jan, will you roll for John, will you roll for Annika? Jan, you can roll for Aseri, and Donna, you can roll for Minea. Annika gets a +1 plus the leadership bonus.
Then she got a 10 because she rolled a 9. Or I guess 11 plus the leadership bonus.
Great.
Aseri got a 7 with the bonus. So he got a 6 plus 1.
Okay.
I don't know if he has any quality ratings, but it doesn't really matter with a 7.
Yeah.
7's a 7.
Okay, so we got that. And then Donna, will you roll for Minea?
Yeah, she got a 12.
Oh, God. Wow.
But did she have dex points? Because I know.
She doesn't. The NPCs don't have. They get bonuses depending on what their qualities are.
That's right.
And I can tell you that Minea is. This falls into Minea's wheelhouse, so she does get a +1 for that.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so let's see. John and Donna roll. You guys are both shooting at the same. Sorry, this is Annika and Taimi shooting at the same guard. So John, we roll 2d8 damage.
Mm-hmm. Do you want the roll separately or the sum?
That's punching right through the armor, so the sum is fine.
Okay. Then it's 7 plus 5, 12.
Okay. And then Donna, will you roll a d8 for your crossbow?
Okay.
And Jan, you roll a d6 for Alseri.
He got a 1.
Okay.
7 for the crossbow.
Okay. And then will you also roll for Minea, Donna? Roll a d6.
A d6.
Yeah.
Okay. 3.
Okay. Okay. So Paiviki gives the word. Everybody pops up. John, where does your bolt strike the guard to knock the, just to like jar him out of his sense of, like, just to completely wind him and shock him?
I think if he's still standing and this wasn't a lethal volley, I think I get him in the shoulder and it just like really just knocks him hard against the beams or the stone of the building.
Okay, great. So that bolt hits, and immediately after that, Annika's shot goes right through his neck, and he's like pinned up against the stone and kind of flailing around. Aseri's arrow pings off the other guy's helmet.
Oh.
And then, but Miran's bolt hits him right in the upper chest, and oh yeah, he's wearing armor, so the short bow. Got it. Okay, and then Minea's arrow hits him in the thigh. So the guy on the left side of the door is like dead. Between those two crossbow bolts, he's been eliminated. The other guy, reels back against the door in surprise, sort of realizes what's happening. Man, huh?
Can I cast a spell to silence him?
Yeah, first I want you to check morale for him.
Okay.
Which is 2d6 plus nothing.
He rolled, or we rolled, I don't know who.
Sorry, what'd you get?
I rolled a 4.
Okay. Yeah, so that happens. He realizes what's happening, and he, boy, what does he do?
Do we want to roll good on a morale roll, or do we want to roll poorly?
It's you want to roll good. It's
okay.
Clear. If you want him to run away, I should say. If you want him to stay, you'd want to roll low.
Got it.
He makes a break for the courtyard wall. If you guys are in front of him, he makes a break to his left and just runs, clearly trying to like vault over the wall. And Paiviki, you can cast your spell.
I think I want to. Well, if he's running, even if he's silent, he's still going to be able to spread the word. So I think I would try to hold him back with, like, when he goes to leap, just pull him down. Use Weave of Force to have the ground hold on to him, like not let his feet push off.
Okay. So to like hold him onto the ground. Okay. So we're looking at now. You leveled up and became a magic user. What level were you?
I'm level 2 magic user, so
okay.
I have a 4 power.
Okay.
I was hoping to not use all of it, but I don't know how powerful of a spell this would be.
So this is going to be near range. That's 1.
Yeah.
It's instant, which is 0. It's a single target. So that's 0. And I think trying to stop him from moving, I think is probably a moderate effect.
Uh-huh.
So that would be a 3 power total.
Okay. I'll try that. So that leaves me 1 to add to my roll.
Yeah.
Okay. So she calls on the power of the earth to not cooperate with his leap.
Earth not cooperating.
Yes. Like a disgruntled earth. All right. I rolled a 15.
Wow. What? Oh my God.
12 plus.
Yeah. Okay. The spell does what you want. He's going to leap right before he vaults, and his feet, he puts down his right foot, and it just like adheres to the ground. So he stumbles forward and kind of like smacks himself on the wall. And while he's reeling there, Aseri and Minea take their next 2 shots. So Jan roll for Aseri and Donna roll for Minea. You're still getting the +1 from leadership.
Yeah, Sari got a 4 total.
Oh.
Oh, woof.
Sorry, they're doing another shot. Is that what?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Okay. 6 plus 1, 7.
Okay. Do you want to mark another ammo? Would
For,
that be your choice?
For.
Oh, sorry. This is Minea.
Minea?
Yeah. I'll track that.
Yeah, thank you. I was like, I'm not the one.
Doing what now? Okay, and then roll a d6 for damage.
Because she had that quality, right? Because I rolled a 5 and then plus leadership plus the quality.
That's correct. Yep, you did it.
Oh, dang it. 1.
Oh.
So Aseri's arrow goes wide. Meneas hits him actually sort of thumps off his back and like spins over his shoulder. So you're seeing the chainmail do its work now. Boy, he's stuck, but it's momentary, right? So he, so Taimi and Anika can do something. Your crossbows have been fired, of course, but what do you do, Taimi? And Weirin too. Sorry, Don. Weirin also gets to act.
I hop the wall. I'm gonna just charge at this guy. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I see that he's stuck or has paused, and I'm gonna charge him.
So is it like a sling the crossbow, vault, and then run at him, or drop the crossbow?
Yeah, I sling it. Yeah.
Okay. And your weapon is your
A
hand
short
weapon?
sword.
Short sword. Okay. Yeah. So you vault the wall and charge at him. He is at a disadvantage because he's sort of stuck in place. So I think as you do that, he's just going to try to like avoid the blow and draw his own sword. He doesn't even have his sword out yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he's going to try to do. So so he's not actually fighting you because he hasn't got his sword out yet. But he's trying to avoid. So I'm going to say saving throw with dexterity.
And would this still fall in the purview of our orders?
Sorry, of what?
The orders that we received?
No, because those were just for shooting.
Shooting. Yeah. Okay, so that is 4 plus 3 for my dex, which is 7. I'll take it.
So deal your damage. Subtracting 2 for chainmail.
I rolled a 3. Minus 2 is 1.
Okay. So he actually gets his sword out. His feet are released from the earth, and he manages to sort of block. He comes up to parry, and your short sword glances off his sword and strikes him across the face. And now he's got his back to the wall, and he's facing you with his short sword out. Weirin, what do you do? And in terms of sound, so far in terms of the sound level, like those swords hitting was like king, There haven't been any yells or crying out because the other guy got hit in the throat. So far, their sound level has not risen appreciably. Sorry, Miriam, go ahead.
Sure. Wherein wants to be. Couldn't she quickly run to that the door while other guard is occupied?
Yeah.
And then lift up the.
Yeah, and actually, Minea jumps over the wall with you and runs to do that. So you guys can both grab that bar and heave it up at the same time.
Okay.
So right now with Taimi and this guard facing off, it's a little, and Taimi being between you guys and the guard, it's a little hard to shoot things at the guard. But Paiviki, what would you do next?
I think Paiviki is just going to come right up to the guy with her spear and her shield, and she, ready to join in the fight with Taimi, and says to him, surrender.
Okay, so by trying to intimidate him into giving up because
she's ready to silence him too if she wants to try to stifle his call if she can.
So she doesn't shout out surrender. She just says in a conversational tone because she doesn't want to make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Tells him to surrender.
Yeah. Ready.
Okay, roll to negotiate.
Plus strength or.
I mean, I think you're trying to intimidate him, so yeah, it'd be strength.
I got 10 total.
Okay. Blows deflected. Mirren and Minea over the wall, running up the door. Paiviki vaults the wall, strides forward. Taimi steps back, ready to strike again, or whatever Taimi's stance is. The guy sees, all these people all of a sudden all around him. His companion's dead. Paiviki says that, and he looks at Taimi, hesitant, and drops his sword and holds his hands up. Sword goes cling.
Taimi makes a move to strike him down.
And Paiviki says, why don't we get some information from him?
Is this a move like you're Paiviki
do you do anything physical to stop her?
If I do anything physical, I mean, I would raise my hand, when I see you kind of raising your arm.
No, dude, it's not enough. It's not enough.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I take a slash.
I'm not going to tackle you.
Just deal a d6 damage.
6.
Oh,
minus 2 is 4.
Oh, and it's a downward slash.
Yeah.
After the surrender.
Taimi's in the heat of battle. He's shocked. He steps back. He goes to surrender, and then you make your move. He steps back and tries to defend himself. He's right up against the wall, and right here, he just choke. And he falls choking to the ground. And Mirren and Minea. Sorry, is there any exchange between Taimi and Paiviki after that?
I think I already said we can learn something.
We could have learned something.
Yeah, we could have learned something. Yeah, we could have.
Yeah.
And I just say, and I look pleading with my eyes, Paiviki, we don't have time. Rayuna is in danger.
Let's keep going.
So Aseri is there at the door with Minea and Muirin, and you guys heave up the bar, and the door busts open because the two people inside have been hearing everything that's going on and they've been ready to get out. These two folks stumble out of the building. I knew you'd come for us, Asari. They're kind of excited, but also they look the worse for wear. And Asari embraces them. Who are these others? And he says, "You've heard of the heroes of Rayuna, Paiviki, Taimi, and Muirin." And Annika kind of rolls her eyes.
Poor Annika.
And they have returned, and they have come to help us. So they're very excited, and as has been stated, there's no time to dilly-dally, and you hear someone cry out from down the hillside. You hear a cry from the town square.
Oh, from the town square.
Yeah.
So not too far away.
Not too far away.
Okay. Let's
and we're going to call it there. That's going to be our cliffhanger.
Wow.
That was quite an ambush. Man.
Yeah, that's rough. I was thinking about Mirren's ruthless trait. I was like, here we go. Ruthless.
Yeah, and that's where we're at. We're at wrapping up. Whoops.
I was wondering
Secret
if that-
preview. What's that?
Yeah. They look evil too.
Okay, so wrapping up. If you're a fighter, mark XP if you solve the problem with physical prowess. Taimi, absolutely. And Jan, you would decide at this point whether to get XP as a fighter or a magic user. You definitely get XP as a magic user because you solved a problem with magic.
Yeah, I mean, the only way that I could justify it as a fighter is to intimidate somebody,
Right.
or to command a fight. It seems appropriate.
Yeah. So either one, and you only get to take one XP, but you succeeded on all class fronts. If you're a thief, mark XP if you solved a problem with stealth or trickery. It was the Muirin recon team. Good job.
Yay.
Fulfill at least one trait. Let's see.
I feel like this is my first time getting a cheater point.
Oh
You cheated on this surrender.
The rules of the
Yeah.
game hit upon. Yeah.
That's great. Nicely done. Was that on purpose, or was that just happened to line up?
No, that was not on purpose. I was not thinking to be a cheater. I was
Yeah.
thinking like we gotta go. Like we can't
Yeah.
we can't be dillying dallying.
It was very in character for Taimi too.
Yeah, I don't know if I got anything. I mean, just, attacking a town full of people could be considered bold, but that might, be a bit easy because everything that a freebooter does involves that kind of danger.
Yeah, but I think that's why it's a nice trait to have, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, because I basically have the same traits. I don't know, that just feel very like standard, but I mean, I guess it fits. So,
What are Mirren's traits right now?
well, focused, respectful, and ruthless. And I'm very rarely ruthless, but I'm very often just like focused on the goal. So, I mean, it just sort of, I don't know. It does also feel like cheating, but
Well, this time you get to check off ruthless.
was I?
Oh my gosh, popping up from a wall and shooting somebody without any warning, that's ruthless.
Okay.
A very basic way.
Yeah. The ambush is very
Yeah,
Hmm.
and
Unforgiving.
So Taimi and Paiviki are chaotic, right?
Yes.
You guys actually get alignment points this time because you disrupted a system of order.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
These were guards of a jail. These were the authorities. And Donna, as a lawful person, you're supposed to maintain order. But the opportunity didn't really arise, I don't think.
Right. But I do think once, or say we're successful in ridding the word keepers again, then that is a restoration of order
Oh, for sure.
from the original. Right. I
Yeah,
guess it's
you-
always chaotic first and then it's order after.
That's often how history goes, actually. Chaos, order, chaos, order.
I'm thinking about losing my covetous trait,
Mm-hmm.
and that would shift Paiviki into neutral if she had just 2 traits.
Oh,
left.
just losing covetous and not gaining anything else. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Just because last time I was thinking like, she's starting to, seems like she's starting to shift her, like after not really trying to fight with Varpu anymore, like just trying to like get along and stuff. It seemed more of like a neutral kind of a character,
Mm-hmm.
and that her version of covetousness is like trying to like be the best, and she's already has boastful, so it seems like covetous maybe is not necessary anymore.
Wait, so she has, what do you have for her traits right now?
Boastful, bold, and covetous.
Boastful, bold, and covetous. Oh, right, so that's, oh, because boastful.
Competitive, a trait.
Yes, got it. So if you lose covetous, then you'd be neutral. Yep. Bold and boastful. Those go really well together.
Wow. Does that seem reasonable to y'all? Is that
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry, John, go.
Oh, I mean, I think it's how you feel about Paiviki.
I think that the rules to say if everybody agrees.
Oh, okay.
We're a very agreeable bunch.
Yeah.
I love it. I love. Well, first of all, that scene with Paiviki and Varpu last time was amazing. But I love Varpu. I mean, I love Paiviki changing in this way, and also, yeah, covetous has never really applied, right? Like wanting things that other people have.
Yeah.
Is not ever really seen to embody that. I mean, there's the thing you said about being covetous of attention and whatnot, but
Yeah. I mean, you've been precious and, definitely you like your special short sword and like some things you have wanted to keep.
yeah.
But I think that no more so than anybody in this kind of hard scrapple world who gets their hands on a nice dagger.
Right. Yeah, it seems kind of interesting to me to see what happens if she shifts into neutral. I don't know what you're supposed to. What's your alignment goal when you're neutral?
I think it's to maintain a balance and just gonna look it up real quick. I should have these memorized by now, but they change a lot.
Yeah.
As I search for the right wording, just the right wording. There's 2 things. It's like maintain a balance or, all right, hold on. Alignment goal, neutral. Satisfy a personal need or correct an imbalance. Satisfy a personal need may be too general because that's like,
Yeah, really.
I had lunch. So maybe correct an imbalance would be a better goal to shoot for.
Okay.
Did you make an exciting discovery?
The town?
The prisoners.
There you go. Yeah, that whole mission was about making a discovery. Everybody gets XP for that. Did you overcome a difficult obstacle? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you acquire memorable booty? No. Yeah. So that would be XP for discovery, XP for obstacle. All right.
Jan, when I was saying like it's not enough, like I wasn't trying. I was just saying that like Taimi was in the heat of battle and ready to go. That like I think that was very much in Paiviki's character to like not physically like restrain her or something, but I was just trying to communicate that like it would have to be something physical to like hold her arm or like put hand on her waist or something that like just like standing a couple of feet away and holding up her hand just wasn't gonna like divert her attention.
Yeah. No, I think it's fine. All of our characters are sort of like throwing ourselves into this totally new role of rebellious freedom fighters or whatever.
Right. It's a whole new.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming too, right? Like you guys have been thinking and talking about it since near the beginning.
Right.
So it's interesting to finally see it happening. Let's hope it goes as well next week or whenever we're going to meet again.
What is the I have 74 XP. What is the experience for level 5
I think 6
or 6?
You guys are headed towards 6, yeah.
Okay, 6.
And what's your total you're wondering about?
74.
Do you guys have that accessible? I've never.
No, I actually didn't bring my sheets with me.
Oh.
I had to like re-download the playbook.
Well, I guess I can count the circles.
Yeah. There should be like 5 circles in a unit.
I think, Donna, I think level 5 is 70.
So Donna
okay.
Donna just hit level 5.
Oh, no.
No, I thought level 5 was 65.
Oh, is that right? Maybe I counted wrong.
Yeah.
So then you're
Okay.
9 points
It's
towards level
70.
6.
Oh, is it 70?
Yeah. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, I think is level 5.
Donna, did you already level up to level 5 or?
I think I'm already 5.
Okay, so then.
I can count later.
Okay, yeah, figure that out.
I just thought someone had it memorized.
No, it's too hard to count those little circles. Oh, John, I'm sorry. I didn't see your chat note earlier. I'm terrible at looking at the chat.
That's okay.
I'm very sorry about that.
It's okay.
And I understand. Okay, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason.
Stop.